Hello Masters, it's Edelweiss, and today I want to show you one new deck with the Master Stormbringer. This deck is amazing, it's very cheap, and I'm actually number 8 on the leaderboards with this deck. It's really good, it kills a lot of people, it wins against a lot of decks, and the deck is pretty cheap. So this is the deck, Stormbringer Master. It's really important. Scrap Pack, it's a common card. Crossbow dudes, you should have them, they're regular cards. Shock Rock is pretty good card. And Swarmers and Daggerfall, as well as the Plasma Marines, they're regular cards, so you should have them. The Ghost Turret is pretty good. The Ghost Turret actually is the main strategy in this deck, which will help you kill almost all enemies. And Spear Throwers for their common card, and the only rare card is Last Stand. So this deck is exactly 325 shots, blue shots, so it's pretty good for the value. For 325 shots you can achieve Grandmaster, so it's very good for you. And the main strategy is that you should play the Ghost Turret to take care of the minions, and Stormbringer's second perk, which increases the range of the minions, will increase not only the range of the Plasma Marines and the Spear Throwers and the Crossbow Dudes, but it will increase also the range of the Ghost Turret. So the Ghost Turret becomes like an extremely powerful building, which when put on a right place can deal a lot of damage. It can kill a Cleaver, it can kill a Blue Golem, it can kill a lot of stuff. The only weakness to the Ghost Turret is the flying stuff like Propeller Scrats, Zeppelin and the Dragon. These cards are the most played. The other flying cards are not very commonly played, but that's why you have the next card, Plasma Marines and Spear Throwers and Crossbow Dudes. So these cards will help you gain control. They will help you kill flying minions and Scratterhoards, of course, minions with low health. Spear Throwers are especially good against pretty much all kinds of enemies, and the Crossbow Dudes, they're very cheap, but they're good for taking bridges. And the next one is Scrap Pack. Pretty cheap, pretty self-explanatory. Capture the bridge, stop 2 cleaver hits. It's pretty good. And the Swarmers are like an upgraded version of the Scrap Pack. They'll help you even more. And the final card which is the second core card, is the Last Stand. In many battles you fight enemies which, for example, King of Control or Volcus Spam. And Last Stand is pretty good because in many games you have to fight enemies like King of Control or Volcus Spam, and if you lose bridge control, it can really help you regain the control of the bridge and send a lot of stuff to your master. It's weak to Reboomer and Annihilate, as well as Monkey, but Monkey is not that big problem. Where this card will die before killing the Legionaries, and the other card is the Defense Chopper. So Defense Chopper is pretty good against the Last Stand, but it is a lot of mana, so you capture the breach, you kill the Defense Chopper, but you lose all your Legionaries. But that's not a big problem, because the only thing you'll use Legionaries for is to recapture the breach and show your opponent that you are stronger and that you have a bigger control. And here comes the Shock Rock and the Daggerfall, which support the Last Stand. So Shock Rock is used against boomers and reboomers. You have to be fast with the reboomer, because after 3.5 seconds he will respawn, and you want to kill him as soon as he's being spawned. So as soon as he's being spawned, he will be on neck, and you want to kill him while he's on neck. You can use the Shock Rock or the Daggerfall. The Daggerfall can be used against swarms like Scratterhoard, Plasma Marines, Grenadier, Sniper Scrats, and it's really good for its cost. I think this is a lot better than Fireball, because Fireball currently it's not very played. Fireball of course can kill more stuff and do more damage, but you need the Daggerfall to kill small minions and to protect your push. Small minions like the Snake Druid and the Plasma Marines. In a lot of games your opponent will tend to cluster the Plasma Marines on one spot, and you can just dagger forward. So now I'll play several games. This is the deck. The average mana cost is 3 and you will use only one wild card. Play it with Stormbringer. I haven't tried other heroes, masters, but Stormbringer is the best hero to play this deck with. Now I will play several games and you can see how the deck plays and what the main strategy is. Okay guys, now I will be fighting Cat. He is really strong player and that's why I wanted to show this deck against him. As I said, this deck is very cheap and very effective. Now in the beginning I'm waiting a bit, so because I see he's playing Setsu and I was thinking if he was playing the Dragon Nest, but here he plays a warrior and now I know that he isn't playing a Dragon Nest. I'm Uncle's testing the bridge right now and here is a good time to summon the Legionaries because it helps you gain more control of the bridge and of the board, his side of the field, and you even push a lot. So yeah, this is pretty good push. And as you can see here, I use the dagger foe to support my push after he summons the Plasma Marines. This is why I use the dagger foe. Now this blue golem is coming towards me, but I'm not really afraid because I know the ghost turret deals a lot of damage. So I'm confident that the ghost turret will manage to kill it. Now I play the ghost turret here and you see how much damage it does, and the spirit throwers. Boom, he kills it. No problem, I still have a lot of minions. The swarmers deal a lot of damage. For 2 mana they deal quite a lot, they deal a lot of DPS, so I'm pretty happy with the position currently. I'm being pushed, but this isn't that much of a problem. Now I see the Reboomer and I know that playing the last stand wouldn't be very effective, so I'm just defending over this side. He misses his heal because I killed the golem too quickly, and this is how to use a dagger for either defensively clearing a lot of push minions or aggressively by supporting your push. And the dagger for killed the Reboomer and his cheaper minions low health, so I was pretty happy. Now I know that this guy is playing blue golem, so I'm saving my ghost turret. The best spot for a ghost turret is over here, right on the first side between the 2 bridges. This is the best spot because as you gain perk 2, turret increases its range and can defend this spot over here. So this is a pretty good defending. This type of deck is actually called a control deck because you control the board, his side of the field, and the bridge. It's pretty good. As you saw previously, the Shock Rock was really good to kill the Reboomer. It's an essential spell, you should contain it with almost every deck. And right now, I know that he has the golem, so this turret, look at this. He will try to hide it and to keep it alive for some time, but it won't work exactly as we thought. Now I see the jump, and this is what you wanna do. You summon the Legionaries, and they protect it. Shock Rock the Reboomer, the ghost turret will finish the red golem. So this is how to defend against big pushes with this deck. This is how to support your pushes, and generally this is the best way to play the deck. You can see it's amazing, it's really strong, and it's definitely worth playing. And here I see he's really low health, so I'm just pushing for damage right now. And yeah, the ghost turret will be quite handy over here, so I wait a bit. And there it is, the ghost turret. Now, I know that he has a jump and I'm waiting. I'm 100% that he has a jump, so I'm prepared to stun the Setsu if he jumps on me. Now, I don't know where he'll jump now, maybe to the turret. Yeah, he clears the turret. That wasn't the best choice because the Legionaries from the top will try to kill him. I missed the Shock Rock here, otherwise he would be already dead. This is my mistake. But this is not a big problem. Now, the red golem is pushing. I'm a bit concerned because I'm not that high health. He summons a second blue golem, not red golem, sorry. And here is where the ghost turret will shine. Just look at this now. He will jump right now, and this is what I do. I wait, and boom, defend my ghost turret. Perfectly executed. Kill the Setsu, the ghost turret will do a lot of damage, and this is how you play the deck. It's just amazing. It's just amazingly done. And yeah, I'm just interacting the Reboomer to separate it from the Golem. And I haven't won yet because there is a Golem on my side of the field, and it's pretty dangerous right now. But the Ghost Turret will help me defend the incoming minions. And yeah, right now he doesn't have much of a choice than to try to kill me in the face, but that won't be successful, as you can see. And right now I'm just starting to shock rock his face, and Daggerfall will just finish it. So Captul's very strong point. This game was very close, very good, and that's why I wanted to stream this game, to show you this game, because even against good players like Cat, this deck can work. However, I fought several games against him. He won several games. I think he won 2 games, I won 3. He's a really good player, and I think this game showed the potential of this deck. And of course, I can show you after, if you have a large collection, I can show you which cards you can substitute. Now, if you're facing a lot of spam or a player who plays legionaries, you can always substitute the spear throwers for a defense chopper. You could also put a stint instead of a crossbow dudes, and you could also put a warrior instead of shockrock. However, I think this is the best combination, and yeah, it's pretty good that there's nothing else you can change here. If you're fighting against the same opponent, like I said, and he beats you because of a single strategy, then you can, of course, you can change something. And I inspire you to try this deck and to try different variants, because it's amazing deck and it's very good for new players, and this deck will help new players learn the game a lot. So now I will show a game, 2v2 game. Let's see this game. Okay, wait. Okay, this game. I think this was a bit long game, but no problem. Now, the opponents are playing Vocal and King Puff. They're extremely strong combination. Right now, they're the strongest combination in 2v2. And I'm playing my Stormbringer deck in 2v2, and my friend Kex is playing Red Bull. And as you can see, playing in 2v2 will be more challenging because the mana is slower and you have to fight against 2 opponents. Of course, you have a friend of yours, but you have to think faster and you have to make your strategy faster. And right now I'm just playing the defensively. I'm not summoning any legionaries because mana is generating slower in 2v2. Summoning a last stand legionaries will be a mistake most of the time, because often the opponent will have like here, we'll have a Reboomer, and after I spend 7 mana I won't be able to shock rock or Daggerfall the Reboomer. So in 2v2 you have to be more careful when to play last stand, and the chance for the opponents to have a Fireball or some spell other to clear your legionaries is quite high. So in 2v2 play more defensive, more cautious. That's what I can tell you. Now here the Ghost Turret will kill the Woolies card, and I will again take control of the bridges. As you can see, my mana is always around 4. I rarely like to fall below 4 mana. I fall below low mana below 4 mana only when I play last stand. And as you saw here, this is what I was talking about. When you summon the last stand and you spend all of your mana, you are just so vulnerable to a Reboomer, and that's why I don't want to do such a thing. And don't fall below 4 mana. Try to keep your mana full, and when he starts a push, play a Ghost Turret and Spear Throwers, defend, and then just wait. Don't try to push. If you are, of course, you can push if you are 100% sure that you will be able to kill your opponent. And this is actually a pretty good target for a Daggerfall, but I don't have the Daggerfall right now. I'm playing the Ghost Turret a little bit back because I know he has a lot of range minions and I don't want him to pick the turret while the turret is busy with the Scrap Horde. So yeah, oh, and this is one thing that you should know. If you play with Volko, you should be very careful when you play Legionaries and Spear Throwers and other minions, because his Burn the Bridges is extremely strong and can just decimate your minion army. So be careful and don't overdo your pushes now. As you can see now, after I summon the minions, I'm around 3 or 4 mana. I keep my mana in wait. When I'm 100% sure that he won't be able to do anything, I place my minions. Now this is a bit bad position because I have to cycle to the gold turret, but remember in 2v2 you have a partner. You saw how he summoned the Cleaver and he helped me with the Worry Scrap, which is pretty good. Now, swap the bridges, it's alright, but the Ghost Turret will kill everything back here and I'm just going to summon the Scrap Pack to regain the victory. And oh yeah, and he summoned the wall. That's actually a really good move of the opponent. So the turret focused the wall while the minions killed the Ghost Turret. So this is a strategy that you should be careful. So as you see in 2v2, the action is quite more, and you have to be careful for the reboomers. And as you can see, I'm still conserving my mana. Right now, I summoned the last stand. I'm vulnerable to Reboomer. Fortunately, he doesn't have a Reboomer. However, this trick swap just allowed the Plasma Marines to just kill all of my Legionaries. So you have to be careful about trick swap. It's a really strong thing. Okay, now Scrap Horde just... And yeah, one thing about this deck is that in most decks you wouldn't want to separate or split your minions in the middle. However, with this deck, actually most of the time you will want to split your minions because of the range you have and because of the Ghost Turret. Splitting them will be a lot safer and most of the time the best choice. Sometimes when you're making a push only from one side, for example if you're fighting another person who has Legionaries, you want to push only from one side, one bridge, and when you push from one bridge, just support, don't split your minions to the other bridge. If you summoned all 7 Legionaries down there, just summon your Plasma Marines and crossbow dudes with the Legionaries, don't split them. This is, I think, the only occasion when you won't want to split them. And as you can see, Ghost Turret, boom, picking off enemies. Just look at that defense, it's going to die really quickly with the duck, amazing. And actually if you play with Radbo, you have a pretty good combo because you have the last stand, you have the Swarmers, the Plasma Marines, the crossbow dudes. All of these minions are... All of these minions are very strong, and you actually have quite big chance to defend against strong pushes, as you saw in the previous game against the Red Golem. And even in this game, keep in mind that we are playing against the strongest combo currently in the game, and the sole fact that we are winning means that this deck is just amazing and has a lot of potential. Of course, our opponents aren't the best players, but they were definitely playing on a really good level, on a professional level, so just showing you that means this deck is amazing. Now, over here, as you can see, a counter to the Legionaries can be cards such as the Benzo or the Grenadier, because they deal a lot of AoE damage, and when they are on the King for Breach, their damage skyrockets, so you have to be careful about that. But other than that, against boomers and reboomers, you have to Daggerfall and the Shock Rock, so you're pretty well defended. Now, this game is close, but actually we're 30 XP ahead, and in such games, most of these games, you won't see so long games in the 1v1 rank, because most of the time you'll kill your opponent quickly. So in 2v2, however, you strive for bridge control. That's why we'll play more defensively. Striving for bridge control means putting the ghost turret, putting scraps, controlling the bridges, and oh, this is again my mistake. I didn't I didn't kill the reboomer. I didn't shock rock him, and as you saw, a lot of my minions died. But the ghost turret here will clear with all these minions. Now this is the part where I thought that we would lose, because a lot of their minions come right now. We lost control of the bridges. They're 374 XP. They're almost the same XP as we are, but I know that we are very close to mana friends, and I'm spending all of my mana right now for it. But this is another occasion where we want to spend your mana. When you're close to mana frenzy and your opponent is close to mana frenzy as well, just keep putting the pressure, even if that means spending all of your mana. So we gained mana frenzy, they're still not in mana frenzy, and this is the reason we won. It was a pretty intense game, but playing defensively with the ghost turret and having control of the bridges was really good combo. So the ghost turret, pretty good card for controlling the bridges, and even the good thing about it that it puts pressure on your opponent field as well. Not a lot of cards put pressure on your opponent's field. We are not talking about spells, we are talking about cards like the Undying Skeleton. It puts an amazing pressure on your opponent's side, and the Ghost Turret as well, so this was amazing. Last Stand, it can be used to regain control of the bridge, stop the cleaver's golems. It's an amazing card, and be sure to have a Shock Rock or Daggerful to defend it. As you saw, the gameplay showed how to play this deck, and yeah, this is what I can offer you today. Okay, and thanks for watching, guys, and yeah, I hope you like it. Bye, good luck.